Hello again, and welcome to a very exciting build of the Ghostbusters Ecto-1. This is issue number 5, part 1. This is the first bit of Ghostbusters parts we've gotten in quite a while. This is continuing where we left off on the engine. In my head, I thought we were further along because I remember putting that DeLorean engine together, but this is our parts tray for the week. We're going to be putting together the power steering cylinder, actually. So this is the engine as we last saw it. Engine block and transmission. Transmission is still a little loose because the way it's put together, I can't really get back there to make it tighter. I'd like to, but it is what it is. So it's just always going to be slightly loose. It's okay. So this should be a fairly quick one. It's kind of setting up pulleys like we have been doing and like we did on the DeLorean. And yeah, I've already got the tray out of the plastic, and I just got to get it open without scattering all the pieces. Well, okay, that almost worked. I tried to jump all the pieces. We do this week also have EP, FP, BP, and GM screws. So without further ado, we'll get started on assembling this. The first is to take the armature that's going to hold all of this. It's fairly simple. To that, we are going to attach the cylinder body, which is this guy, and this has a pin here on the front that's going to help locate this, and we're going to fill in the back as we go. So I need to take this with the extended bit here facing the cylinder, fit this up so the pin goes through one hole and the screw holes align with the other two. That's going to be secured with a BP screw, 2 BP screws. Okay, so that is that cylinder. Again, pin in the middle, screw at the top and bottom, and the back side with the cylinder and that post. Next, we are going to do some assembly of subcomponents. We need to find 11D, which is this disc and rod and 2 pins. That is going to fit on the inside. Now this is supposedly, yes, this is keyed at the very bottom edge. That will fit in the cylinder only one way. That for now is just going to sit in. Need to take one of the pulley pieces. Now the pulleys are interesting. They have text molded right into them. Need 11E, and I'm not sure how well this is going to come across on camera, but that actually says 11E on it. And that is going to go around the rim of this pulley cap piece, which has sort of a mushroom shape with a stem. And it just fits on. That's not particularly keyed. This whole assembly is then going to fit on the back side of this that I've put together. Kind of felt like it was gonna, there we go, not snap together so much, but help center everything. That is going to be secured with an EP screw, which should sandwich all of that together. Go to their screwdriver for a moment just to get the last bit. Okay. So, with all that said, that is the assembly from the one side and the other. There's one more piece that's going to go on here. It's just a push-on cap, which I think represents our steering fluid filler. Just that. That just pushes on the top here. Oh, just like that. So now we're going to mount this to the engine body itself with 2 FP screws, which are quite a bit longer, still very small diameter. This is going to go on the front of the engine on the right side, right here at these 2 points. Okay, we'll get that first one in loosely. This is why there's a post standing off the bottom of the bracket, because that actually helps this all fit at the right depth. Okay, so that was a lot. That's how that's going to fit. And again, it's a little bit thicker on the bottom of this armature because that has to have a standoff where the rest of it goes together. Now, we are going to also support this with a strut that's going to come off the engine to the back of this whole assembly. And that strut is going to be held on with 2 more EP screws. One onto the engine block and one onto the pulley assembly. Now, you can probably tell this is kind of a funny shape. The full 90-degree bend goes on the back of the pulley, and the 45-degree angle bend or so is onto the engine block. Get that in loose, so that then I can rotate this strut around so that it lands where it needs to. Does go just over the oil dipstick and the spark plugs. So that here is how that's all going to go. Last step is a pulley to go on the very bottom here. That is made of the last 3 parts sandwiched together, and it's going to be held on, last 4 parts. First I have to put on the base of this pulley. This has 2 sides, one that has an inner ring and one that doesn't. The inner ring is going to face out, according to the pictures. And then all the pieces are going to sandwich together and go on with the GM screw. Now this is our only metal screw in this build this week, because the spindle the pulley's going on is a metal component. Okay, so with these we're going to have the 11K, again, printed into the piece, the 11J and the 11I, and all together that forms a double pulley. That goes on the end that I have just attached down here, and as I said, is held on with that GM screw, which is fitting because, of course, Cadillac is a GM vehicle. So that's that last pulley on the front. Next week we are going to be putting on some belts. I don't think it's all the belts, but maybe it is. But for now, that is our further completed engine. Yeah, I actually have 2 boxes of Ghostbusters parts in that came in within a week of each other. So that's 7 more episodes, 8 including this episode, that we can do before I'm waiting on parts again. So maybe we're in a good place and this will just keep rolling. We're going to do Ghostbusters builds on Wednesdays again, mod kits as they come up. We've also got DeLorean builds on Saturdays. If you like what you see, please keep watching, subscribe, check out those other playlists. Have a good one, guys.